The moment it became confirmed Bran's abilities were more complicated than we believed, he instantly became the most interesting character. I'm hoping he, along with Arya, have a lot of screen time this season, considering the final season will center around Jon and Dany fighting the White Walkers. Since the show doesn't have the luxury of taking its time with the story and detailing lore, Bran is really the only hope of filling out some of the cool history show watchers have been deprived of. His greenseer magic is a little different from the books, and I think it was smart for the writers to make this change. In the books, he can only see out of the eyes of a carved weirwood tree. He doesn't have this constraint in the show. It seems like he can look into any place or time. So where would I want him to time travel to? If this isn't your first time watching one of my videos, you've heard me talk about how cool it would be to learn about the show's version of the Three-Eyed Raven. We had like 2 or 3 episodes with one of the most mysterious characters, only to have him prematurely killed off. It wouldn't make sense for Bran to not be curious of who he is and where he came from. There's also a few questions left to be answered, like what Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen's relationship was before having Jon Snow and dying. The story is he kidnapped and raped her, but it's most likely they were in love. Seeing them time travel together and watching the Mad King lose his shit would be amazing. The Mad King is so important to the story, and only seeing the couple seconds that we got doesn't do him justice. I think it's important to show him ordering to have Ned's brother and father killed for no real reason, to really show his insanity. I wouldn't mind seeing the Mad King's wife either. I don't think she's ever even been mentioned yet. It wouldn't be the most fascinating scene, but there would always be a void of never knowing the mother of Rhaegar, Viserys, and Daenerys. Her name is Rhaella, and she escaped Robert's rebellion but died giving birth to Daenerys on Dragonstone. We could see her trying to convince Viserys that his father wasn't as crazy as everyone else believes, to shelter him. It would explain why he always called them rumors and from enemies. There's also a lot we still need to learn about the Targaryens. I believe the best ending for the story is to have all 3 dragons killed because of all the death they would bring. I can't think of a better way than to have Bran look into the past and see what people in power have done with dragons, which will lead him to plotting the death of Dany's dragons. He can look into 170 years in the past to witness the civil war within the Targaryen family called the Dancer Dragons. It would be expensive CG, but just think how amazing it would be seeing dragons fighting each other in the air. This civil war caused so many deaths because of how many dragons there were and how easily they can wipe out armies. Or even look further into the past to see how powerful the Valyrian freehold was with all the dragons that they had. We've seen Valyria in ruins, but not in its glory. The Dragon Lords were pretty much invincible. No one could fight dragons in a war, so they kept on conquering more and more places and constantly gaining slaves. It would be another expensive scene, but these shorter seasons should mean higher budgets per episode. Bran would realize people in power and control of dragons never ends well. The Valyrians were peaceful people until they discovered dragons living in the volcanoes and became power hungry once they tamed them with magic. It's rumored that the last Targaryen dragons were poisoned by maesters after the Civil War, and seeing this could give Bran some ideas after the White Walkers are taken care of. I just hope his powers on the show aren't only used for spying on enemies. Varys isn't going anywhere. We don't need 2 spy masters. Not only can Bran look into the past and present, but he can see visions of the future. He saw wildfire destroying the Sept in King's Landing long before it even actually happened. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some more of that in season 7 and 8. Bran is going to need to inform Jon where the White Walkers are and where they're going to strike. Looking into the future will let everyone know where to evacuate and give them an advantage so the White Walker army doesn't grow by killing people and reanimating them. Even if Dragonfire can easily take them out, it'll be too late if the majority of Westeros has been turned. I know I'm not the only person that noticed we still haven't seen Bran communicate with people through green dreams. It always seemed like it was Jojen Reed and the Three-Eyed Raven invading Bran's dreams. Eventually, we should be seeing him do the same. And my guess would be entering his sister Arya's. She has some wolf dreams in the books, so it would be interesting to see if the show writers are going to add this in. The Starks are eventually going to reunite for the first time since season 1, but I'll be optimistic in thinking Bran and Arya will communicate through green dreams before then. It would show how far Bran's powers have progressed through training, and be a little fan service for everyone hoping Arya is also a warg. The best scenes from season 6 both came from Bran looking into the past. The Jon Snow parent reveal and hold the door had a lot of emotion and impact to the story. So let's hope for more of these strange time travels before the story reaches the climax. As excited as I am to see Dany and Jon riding a dragon and possibly Bran warging into one, the lore is what made me fall in love with this story. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm pretty lucky to have a growing audience even though I only talk about whatever interests me at the moment. If you want to see more of my stuff, you can subscribe, and I appreciate all the likes. You can click or tap on your screen to watch my last video on Sir Barristan the Bold, who I like to call Barristan the Badass. Thanks for watching.